Knowledge, ladies and gentlemen, is the currency of the 21st century. I'm the host of this year's ZEDTalks, Shannon McCormick. And those of you who know me, who knows me? Go ahead and clap. Those of you who know me know that I have a lot of knowledge, and I'm also not one to let facts stand in the way. I'm willing to tackle the difficult topics. Topics such as, what kind of topics are you thinking about today in the year 2013? The United States posed to invade yet another or attack yet another.
Bioengineering.
Pardon?
Bioengineering.
Bioengineering. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. What other interesting topics of the day might you want to know something about?
Erectile dysfunction.
Robotic blade.
Bioengineering.
Christmas.
Space exploration.
Artificial intelligence.
Twerking.
You gotta get twerking, man.
I heard bioengineering. I heard space exploration. I heard there was another one.
Artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Beautiful. Let's see.
Spelunking.
Very interesting. I need a couple more. Just a couple more. What other topics might you be interested in hearing about?
Immigration.
Pornography, immigration.
Zombies.
Immigration. All right. All right. I think we've got our topics. Well, you know, now that I look through my magical device of the 21st century here, I see that we in fact have speakers on all of these. You guys came to the right show. All of the subjects that you are interested in are going to be covered tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I will run through them so they can know exactly what they're talking about. Of course, they already know what they're talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big hand as Mr. Jeffrey Amos comes to the stage. He'll be talking about bioengineering this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Seth Johnson will be talking about space exploration. Capital, Ms. Pat Timpf will be talking about artificial intelligence. Here's the really interesting one. Erica May McNichol will be talking about caves and spelunking, and she might be in a cave right now. She's not yet here, but that's fine. She knows exactly what she's going to be talking about. Joining us from San Francisco, Ms. Daya Lakshmi Narayanan will be talking about, what is she talking about? What's her topic again? She's talking about immigration, ladies and gentlemen. And the esteemed sage of Austin, Texas will be rounding out the program. Mr. Byron Brown will be talking about zombies. Excuse me, we have not yet in the 21st century invented teleportation. I need to now go up to the booth so that I can run their presentations, but we'll be starting momentarily. Jeff, would you like to get up and get ready?
Of course.
All right.
Hey, everyone. My name is Jeffrey Amos. I've been working in the biotechnology industry for probably about 15 years now. And in a few moments, I'm going to show you a short presentation on some of the great work that we've been doing at Arms and Legs Industries. Has anyone here ever needed an extra limb or organ? You have? What was that? Go ahead. Just that was that hand? Just the one that you raised? So it's working out for you pretty well. That's the kind of stuff that we do. We make raisable appendages.
You got a slide, sir.
All right.
I think it's just the back.
So first of all, we're going to begin at the very beginning. So mankind humankind for years was limited by the number of appendages, the number of limbs, the number of organs. And so in the Dark Ages, mankind had to do battle with only his wits and his strength. With science, we no longer have to worry about that. We no longer have to worry about snakes and warlocks. We've been given an opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the golden age. We are on the precipice of the singularity. I show you right now some of our earliest attempts. While these first attempts are nascent and puerile, what you see here is an incredible moment. From this, we were able to take thought to another place. Now, Bob and Cindy, they came to us with a very unique problem. And this problem was they were continually thinking with their junk. And so, at Arms and Legs Industries, we felt that they should literally think with their junk. And so we gave them extra brains. Now, obviously, this was an early attempt. The masks are there because the scarring is actually horrific. But as you'll see in the next slide, we advanced much farther. We dreamed, ladies and gentlemen, dreamed of something wonderful. This young girl, her name is Penny. Penny is entirely artificial. She's controlled by the bow. It's an antenna device that relates back to a simple iPhone. With this iPhone, we can control Penny. Now, unifying this incredible robotic technology, along with our earlier attempts at thinking generals, we were able to finally come to something incredible. And so what you see here in the middle, that is PB1000. PB does stand for peanut butter, I know you're all thinking. PB1000 is actually one of our surgical bots. He controls most of our I forgot the word, ladies and gentlemen. Our technology is electrosurgery. So, beginning in 2014, we're going to be rolling out a new line. This is going to be something I'm very much eager. I'm anticipating this incredible launch that we are making in the next few years. Ladies and gentlemen, we are able now to move past a world of race, of sex, of class, of gender politics, of identity. We, in fact, are becoming one, unified, an individual being, incorporated in all ways, all organisms linked as one. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made the cyborg. Let me try that again. Made the cyborg. He's controlled this early part of the cyborg, which we will all be a part of. He's controlled by the early basement tapes of Frank Zappa. And oddly enough, pickle juice. In conclusion, I would like you to think. I would like you to think of a world where secrets no longer matter. Where ideas are our currency. Where religion is a story. I would like you to think of bliss, of unified, organic bliss. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the precipice of something incredible. An opportunity to unify as one people, but figuratively and quite literally.
Good evening. My name is Seth Johnson. I'm here to talk to you about space exploration. A lot of you are aware of, at least those of you that watch, pay attention to the news, that this planet that we're on is suffering from overpopulation. Ecological damage is occurring at an alarming rate. So more and more people, those of us that are smart people at least, have been looking to the heavens, looking to the skies, looking for a way to expand. A new place where we can live and survive. Just like our ancestors. Now, our ancestors, when they would cross vast expanses, seas, lands, rely on mystery, magic, or mayhem. Kind of a hit or miss kind of approach. So, we're more and more thinking science, facts, and statistics, I think. Instead of that. Now, beginning in 14, I just wanted to make sure I pronounced it. Now that's the 1400 before this crisis of ecology. I don't want to be vulgar, but they're in their wagons, they're in their boats, and they're like, just toss over the rough, trash, waste, whatever. No longer acceptable. So we're looking for a new place that we can go. Into the heavens, space. The thing is, though, about space, most of you haven't been. It's big. Like really, really, really big. Like anything big you've seen, a lot bigger than that. That means if you're going to explore, you should probably know where you're going. Because if you're, on land, you'll get somewhere. But in space, you just might not if you don't have a good idea. Now, the Big Bang explosion. God, I love that show. This explosion in popularity has detracted a lot of people from paying attention to the important issues. But as the next slide shows, where civilized people talk about the issues of the day is the only way we're going to reach a consensus on how to deal with this problem and how to approach space exploration. So turn off that TV and talk amongst yourselves, not everyone, but whoever you have dinner with. And that's where you can talk about salad course, tasteless ice cream, or cheese course. Now those are all acronyms, and I'm not going to go into them. Next slide. efficient way to put things in. I don't want to. Anyway, the point is this. The same principles that they use to build Gothic cathedrals are what we are using to build fishes that have to resemble Gothic cathedrals. But with a lot of fuel and big engines on the back. Very, very similar. So once we plan out where we're going, that's step one, which is hard. And we build the spaceship. We're doing pretty well. Let's hit the next one. Then we have to look into our hearts and decide, who's going to go? Not everyone's going to fit. Now, you don't want to be cold-hearted about it, but you have to make some tough choices. Number one, do they have a clear story about why they want to go? I think that's essential. The other ones, they don't have, if you're on the bubble, then you might lose yourself. Gospel aisle, that's, if you're really religious and you want to sit with your kind, that's fine. Flying buckets, that explains itself. And so, once we decide, so we have location, the means to get there, and we've decided who's going to go. So, we take off. And what happens next? Well, we made such a muck of things, we made such bad decisions, that we think for a while dogs might be in control. Could they really do any worse? I don't think so. That's why they'll be wearing vests and, whoa. According to those that aren't pulling their weight, the dogs will say, why don't you go? And we're talking smart dogs, border collies, that kind of thing. So, the point is, with our new dog overlords heading off into space, knowing which planets that are likely to sustain humankind under dog rule, our future looks much brighter. I'd like to conclude by pointing out it's either take off and find a new planet, or be overrun by these guys. That's basically the choice. But that guy up there, he's going to survive anything. Gross. It doesn't matter what we throw at him. So various plagues. No. This is the utopia we're looking at, folks. And this is how excited you'll be to arrive. So I hope you'll join me. Not all of you. You won't all be allowed to go. For those of you that are going to go, I say welcome aboard. And let's not screw this next time up. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody. We're going to talk about artificial intelligence, which may be helpful. I sense that maybe some of you may not have so many friends. I did not either. But knowledge and science, you think might help you make friends, but that's only if you can make them in terms of robots. I have literally made my friends, and they all love me very, very much. For example, the next slide. These are my best friends. These are my best friends, and you can tell they're very warm and inviting. They're the kind of people that I very much trust to watch my children. If you ever need babysitters, these are the kind of babysitters you can create with artificial intelligence. Imagine your child in the middle of that, very safe, very comfortable, will grow up to be a very normal, well-adjusted adult, as we all are, I'm sure, myself, definitely. Yes. This right here, you do not know, but some of those posts right there are actually examples of artificial intelligence. They can actually listen to you, and they can actually give you some encouragement, which we all need encouragement, for example. They're excellent wingmen. I know approximately 47 people got laid in that alley. It's very, very wonderful experience. Yes. This is actually an example of not artificial intelligence. This is actually a real man here. This man right here, he also didn't have any friends, and he still doesn't have any friends. He's an example of somebody who did not enjoy artificial intelligence. This is what is going to happen to everybody who does not laugh at everything I say. All right, and those two people on the side right there, they're also, those are examples of artificial intelligence. Basically, this one on the left is sexier because he laughed at everything I said. And the one at the right actually looks more like Austin, if you'll notice, actually. Austin, Texas is where he's from because he has a beard, so. He has a beard. Artificial intelligence actually, yes, can actually, everybody with a beard is actually a robot about 75% of the time. So, yeah. Now this is an angel. This is an angel, and this is not like actually, as you all know, all robots were created in the image of God. This is all created in the image of God. Culture. This man right here. This man right here is my best friend. This man right here, he has developed everything, all of the ideas about artificial intelligence were developed by this great grandmaster bow tie right here. He might look like your grandpa, he might look like your grandma, depending on your situation. However, he's not. He's actually half robot, so, but only half. That's how the mustache, no beard, half robot. We can move along now. I think these people get it. No? Okay, that's fine. I mean, that's okay. This man right here also, he didn't have any robot friends because he didn't really get along with other robots. You can understand because he was half robot, he's of a mixed race. And that can be a difficult position to be in. I don't know if any of you guys have mustaches here. It's like to be half of a robot, but mustaches don't seem very popular in Austin. More so beards for robots. Can we please get to the next slide? Okay, this right here you may think would be some sort of laboratory where artificial intelligence was developed, but it's not. It's more of a decoy. So people who are interested in artificial intelligence will go and check it out, and then all of their conversations are recorded by the NSA, which is 100% human, and therefore is vindictive against you and wants to ruin your life and read all of your G-chats. Artificial robots have no interest in your G-chats, which is excellent. Anybody who is into things like G-chat gossip, G-chat sex, G-chat, G-chat at work, G-chat at home, G-chat on your phone, they're not interested in any of those things. This man right here, though, is interested in your G-chats, and he is not artificial, he is real, and he will ruin your life. Right there. If you see anybody who looks like that, please beware. He may pretend to be a robot, but he's not artificial. He's real. All right, next slide. Next slide. Now this man right here and this other man right here are best friends. Now this man with the white hair, he is artificial. He is very artificial, but in a human sense. He's a fake asshole. asshole if you have somebody who is of artificial intelligence as your best friend. So that would be excellent. Now, in conclusion, cats, artificial cats are not necessary because real cats are amazing. As this gorilla has fucking Coco the gorilla is artificial, and even artificial intelligence creatures love cats. So in conclusion, cats. This man right here is an example of why some people need artificial friends. And why some people need real friends also, and why some people need cats as well. So, and why some people need to not wear those boots. And also, I have no idea what this, no, I do. You have no idea what this means. Sarah Palin, an example of somebody who is not supportive of artificial intelligence. So, if you support Sarah Palin, do not clap for me. But if you think she's an idiot, then clap very loud. Thank you very much. Caves. Caverns. Closets.
What will capture the human imagination more than dark spaces filled with primates? Dressed in kung fu clothing. It was a fever dream I had in graduate school. I found myself waking up sweaty, bespeckled with ramen from who knows where. Asking myself, Erica, why haven't you gone into these caves? And I answered myself back, I said, Erica, because you've been afraid of what you might find. Much like a schizophrenic 8-year-old's drawing. We've all looked inside of ourselves, right? What was a harmless doodle turns into something more meaningful. I can see my parents' divorce in there. Bad touch from the past. The fact that I'm secretly attracted to my cousin. So why did I go seeking caves? Why did I seek out this profession of spelunking? I wanted to be in tight crevices so I could contemplate bad parenting. Much like cattle going through a chute, they feel better when they're compressed. This is true for humans. And we see this in the spectrum of autism. Compression provides us with a physical release from our emotions. Next slide. Frida Kahlo knew it. In her masculine form, she was bedeviled by duos of demons. Unbeknownst to much of the art world, she, after her tragic bus accident in Mexico, recovering, trying to make it on whatever morphine drugs her family could afford, she went into a cave. A cave that gave her time to contemplate how she was supposed to channel this pain. And as I was in my cave, I started out at Carlsbad Caverns, found myself upside down for 8 hours with blood rushing to my head, I said to myself, Erica, next slide. Why you such a hot bitch, yo? Rose up out of me. Look at it. I'm not a thin lady. Like burritos. But that's how I could feel on the inside. And it was a cave. A cave. Why did our predecessors live in caves? Cave drawings. That's just self-actualization of people that came before. Next slide. I don't want to talk about this shit. Let's go to the next. Gay men everywhere have been trying to help me out of this comatose state. And they said, Erica, you've got to go into a cave. You've got to go into a closet. And then come back out of that closet. A beautiful butterfly with an acute knowledge of what blazers go best with button-up shirts. Next slide. No! As a child, I often wandered away from the research facilities that my parents lived in that were adobe structures in the middle of Albuquerque. I found myself running, fever dreamed, and frequently what would come to me was caves. What is it about caves that so captures the human subconscious? There's a lot of rooms and pedestals that we unlock at MC Escher. Is everyone, you familiar with MC Escher? What do you think?
Love it.
Love it, right? This guy. What do you think about MC Escher?
I really have no opinion on that.
That's a very MC Escher shirt. So think Next slide. These were what I did for days. I was actually done with my feet because my hands were pinned next to me as I contemplated the great expectation that being in a cave thrust upon me. Now, as I've mentioned, lots of our forefathers resided in caves, or maybe they built mud huts. And what is important about a cave? It protects us physically, sure. There's a lot of carbon dioxide in there, probably not a good idea. But what it really does is affords us the ability to reflect on ourselves in a confined space, much like an animal. Because we're all animals, right? We're all wearing deodorant, and we're all showering all the time. But if the fact comes down to it, we are just fucking animals. Right? Right? These guys over here, they've been making, there's only guys over here, except for that sweet lady. But others than that, maybe you're looking around the room, huh? Huh? Like cavemen? This guy's bouncing his foot up and down. That's a nonverbal yes. In Japan, this is a thing. I've traveled to Tokyo. I've slept in drawers. Because the Japanese know, living in close proximity, one of the most populous cities in the world, Tokyo, that living in confined spaces opens up a psychological rainbow effect, even. Next slide. As this Russian blue knows, sometimes when you spend too much time in a cave, you come out with a little residue. Little spider webs. And what we do with those spider webs is up to us. Next slide. The universe is large. It has a lot of caves in it, and I hope each one of you will take from this. Fuck you!
Hello. As many of you know, I am Daya Lakshminarayanan, and I was designated by the United Nations as the world's expert on immigration. My qualifications, I am brown. From this opening slide, you can see that immigration is like the wind in our sails. The poison ivy that we try not to get. And the swirly water which sustains our life, like Mexicans in restaurants. We need to have a multicolor society to be able to achieve greatness. You can see that in the future, if we don't do something, there will be no black people. Immigration reform is relevant currently to our society. For example, we may think that bicycles are just for hipsters. They are not. People are using them to come into America from Cuba. Hoop earrings are a specialty in many cultures. And I must quote LL Cool J here when he said, "I want a girl with extensions in her hair. Bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair." I propose an interesting example of immigration reform, because we know that if a state is all white, it's really boring. This is Teddy Roosevelt. As many of you know, he was my father. He died before I was born. I get really emotional when I talk about it. Because I never knew my dad except for books. And they called him Teddy Bear because he was a hairy gay man. Next slide, please. This is a symbol of unity in the future. In this shape, we will bring together 2 colors. The first color shows what will happen in the future when we have a society with different kinds of people. And the red, I'll let you look at that for just a second. Yeah. Next slide. Oh. We want to move in a direction, and that direction is that way. And to move in that direction, we must think of immigration reform as little tiny gummy fruits. These gummy fruits are channeling into the future. Next slide will illustrate this point more. This man represents which are buildings, full of people working together hard. Next slide. This is a child's kaleidoscope, and children are our future. When they see this, they see love. They don't see a bunch of shit just thrown together. Because they're optimistic about what we can achieve. Next slide. This is a woman that used to not be employed. She came to America, and now she is the only barista at Starbucks that can get my name right. Number 2 in immigration reform, please. You can't spell immigration reform without you. You have the ability to influence, to write to your congresspeople, to tear down those walls in Mexico. When you see a Canadian person, don't say fuck you. Say welcome, and I'm sorry for what I've done. The time to act is now. This is urgent. We must take action. Next slide.
That was the last one.
The next slide, I didn't put up here for a reason. Because I want all of you to just close your eyes for a second and think about a society where people can come and go as they please. And the food is incredibly tasty. Because that's what is going to happen. Now, when immigrants come to America, we will have this society where the food is much better. We don't want to be like England, do we? Think about a society where people will be speaking different languages, have different customs. It will be amazing. It will be a place where I am proud to say, yes, I am an American. And what you can do with that vision in your heart is write it down and follow your hearts. Follow the pounding of your hearts. Because this is a place where I want to live. And Teddy Roosevelt said it best. Speak softly and swing around your big stick.
What's up, everybody? How we doing? My name is Byron, and well, first off, before I start things off, I want to let you all know that I'm a huge fan of zombie movies. I love zombie movies. I love horror movies. I love the genre of horror. I have a huge library, an enormous library of zombie movies at my home. And I also like comic strips, too. So that's just a little backstory on me. But about 9 years ago, I was essentially a zombie. I was addicted to video games, specifically Tomb Raider. I played it literally every day, 9 hours a day, like it was my job. And I was walking around like a zombie. By a show of hands, how many people have seen zombie movies before? Interesting. That's interesting. Okay. How many people would consider themselves zombie fans? By a show of hands. Zombies started in the 1970s, the genre of film. Films were at the height of their popularity in the mid-1970s, along with disco. I I, of course, was born in the late 70s. I didn't remember this period of time. But if you watch some of the earlier zombie movies, you will see that disco was a huge influence on. You will see a lot of scenes in discotheques, disco halls. A lot of the zombies were wearing bell bottoms. Just FYI. I want everybody to turn and look to the person to your left, right now. Make eye contact with them. No, wait, okay, I'm sorry, that's not going to work. Okay, just look to the person to your left, and I want you to think to yourself, are they present? Are they here? Are they? Think about it. Really, really think about it. That's life. That is life right now. Isn't it? Are we here? Are we zombies like in the zombie movies from the 1970s? Today, I am going to argue that we are not here, and that is life. I used to eat like cereal when I was a little kid. Used to watch zombie movies and eat my cereal. By a show of hands, we watched our favorite program on TV while eating cereal. That's interesting. Okay, this is going to take things a little... That's good. No, that's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, Nintendo. You guys played Nintendo growing up? I was addicted to Nintendo. Like a zombie. We surveyed 100,000 families throughout the Midwest and some of the northern states. We even surveyed families in Hawaii. We had another group that tackled most parts of Africa. Egypt, Colombia, New Zealand, Mexico, Australia, Georgia, the state of Georgia. And you know what they found? They found that the average household has limited to no knowledge of modern art. It breaks my heart. But I am here today to share my story. And you're probably going to judge me. Some of the coolest figures in pop culture were just like me. The icons, the people that you looked up to in cinema were just like me. Just like me. They had weaknesses for each other or whatever. That's my story. And I have a feeling they were just like all of you as well. Do you hear that? Listen closely. Really listen. Stop thinking and be present. The
Because if you don't, you might get shot through the neck. Through life's Robin Hood. What is it that he does? Steals from the rich and gives to the poor. I want you to think about that when you drive home tonight. And I want you to look at your significant other or your cousin or grandchildren, whoever's in the car with you. Your aunt, your best friend, your blind date. I want you to look at them and I want you to go, isn't it all about the stuff that we liked when we were children, particularly comic strips and zombie movies and things of that nature? Isn't that when we were truly present? I don't have the answers. You do. You in particular. What's your name? Hi, John. No. I think, I don't know if there's like an after party or. Okay, I'll meet with afterwards in the hallway. We're gonna exchange numbers. John? Thank you. Thanks, guys.